Many years ago, there was an old storyteller, a master of his art, making his way through the countryside. As the sun lowered in the sky, he knew, from the grumbling in his stomach and the aching in his bones, that he needed to find a place to rest that evening and, even more importantly, a meal. His prayers would soon be answered, for there, at the foot of the hill, was a dojo, a school of sportsmanship where young, aspiring samurai could study under a master swordsman. The custom in those ancient days was to earn a meal and lodging for the night by engaging one of the students in a duel using wooden swords. The old man looked thoughtfully at the dojo and then felt the age in his bones and the years and the weariness in his muscles and knew what a duel would mean to a man of his years. After a moment, a smile crossed his lips and he walked to the door of the school and knocked. A young swordsman answered the door. "Grandfather, what can I do for you tonight?" The old man smiled and said, "I am here to challenge the master of this school." The young man laughed and said, "Grandfather, why don't you challenge one of our first-year students?" "No, I am here to challenge the master." "Why not one of our second-year students?" "No, I insist on meeting the master in a duel." The old man was brought into the training hall, where all the students looked on with curiosity at his frail, old storyteller who had challenged their teacher. You see, to challenge the master, a samurai, was to fight a duel with swords of steel, a duel to the death. Word was sent to the master of the school throughout Japan, a swordman whose reputation was known throughout Japan. He came to the hall and bowed to the storyteller. At his side, in his obi, he carried a long sword, the katana of the samurai. He signaled for one of his students to hand the sword to the old storyteller. The storyteller placed the katana on the floor in front of him and never glanced at it again. The master of the school finally spoke. "I accept your challenge. Please, take up your weapon and we shall begin." Slowly, the swordsman drew his sword to strike. As this happened, the old man finally spoke. "Once, a long time ago, there was a small village near a beautiful stream at the foot of a mighty mountain. At the end of the village, there was a cottage where an old man lived. Every day, he would go to the stream and listen as the fish told him the stories of the places they had traveled, the people they had seen, and the stories they had heard on their journey. Then, the old man would go to the village and tell his friends his new stories as they drank their morning tea. As the old storyteller was speaking, the master of the school lowered his sword and bowed. "You have defeated me," he said to the weary traveler. The students shouted, "How could he have won? He never struck a blow. He never even picked up a sword." The samurai turned and looked at them and smiled. "How many times have I told you that to win in battle, you must stay in the present. You must stay in the moment. This man took me to a place far away and long ago. He could have slain me at will. And so it was, and so it will be for all those who tell tales and stories from their heart, and all those who listen." So, this story teaches us many lessons. First of all, it shows us the power of words over physical ones. The old storyteller, despite his age and physical frailty, was able to defeat a skilled swordsman through his wit and storytelling abilities, without even drawing a sword. Choosing our words carefully is crucial, because the words we use have immense power to shape our reality and the reality of those around us. The words we choose can inspire and motivate, or they can hurt and demotivate. The wrong choice of words can even lead to conflict or misunderstandings. Secondly, the story emphasizes the power of storytelling as a means of transporting people to different places and times. The old man's story was so compelling that it took the master of the school out of the present moment, making him vulnerable to defeat. So, you should be very careful of the stories you hear. A skilled storyteller can capture your attention and take you on a journey, inspiring you and changing the way you think and feel. Lastly, the story highlights the importance of being present and mindful at the moment. The master realized that without giving his 100%, he was already defeated. May your words influence others for the greater good. This is Inspired Data. Thank you for watching. If you want more life-changing lessons shared through stories, subscribe to this channel. You can also go and watch any of the other videos on this channel. And don't forget, you have the power to change your life.